Investigators already know what happened. Now comes the why. One of the engine's 24 fan blades broke off. The cowling shattered, sending shrapnel at high speed inside the plane. Bank executive Jennifer Reardon was struck. Her window ripped away. As the plane depressurized, the mother of two was partially sucked out.
Half of her was out the window, and so I made my way to her. And
they tried to reel her back in, and it just was crazy.
Investigators are focusing on that missing blade, already saying there were signs of metal fatigue.
It sounds like they found evidence of metal fatigue at the dovetail itself.
At the British Columbia Institute of Technology's aviation school, they have an earlier variant of the same engine.
If you've ever bent the tab off of the top of your can of Coke, you bend it back and forth, and it bends and it bends and it bends, and suddenly it snaps. That's metal fatigue.
It's still unclear why that blade broke and where it went, but it certainly caused damage inside the engine.
The fan would have continued to rotate 5,000 RPM or so. It's no longer a nice balanced wheel, and that starts to shake. The entire engine will shake, which would have possibly caused the inlet duct to actually depart the engine itself.
Southwest and the engine's manufacturer are now inspecting every plane. Other carriers, including WestJet, are proactively doing the same for aircraft with that exact type of engine. Meanwhile, what happened on board the Southwest flight is remarkable. Within seconds, passengers pulled the injured woman back inside the aircraft as pilots did an emergency dive, dropping 20 meters a second. A nurse and EMT left their seats with the outside howling in to perform CPR.
It just wasn't going to be enough.
As they tried to resuscitate that woman, it became so windy, so noisy inside the plane that another passenger actually used his body against the hole to try to block some of that wind, staying there incredibly, remarkably, Ian, for 20 minutes through the landing.
Obviously, so much about these circumstances are rare, but you've been looking into the maintenance records of Southwest.
Yeah, so Southwest Airlines, one of the biggest in the United States, it does have some scrutiny over its maintenance record in the past. You know, one of the things is something their own mechanics say, that there simply, they believe, aren't enough of them. So you look at a big carrier like United Airlines, they have about 11 mechanics per aircraft, whereas Southwest has just slightly more than 3 per aircraft. What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, the NTSB, the investigators, you can bet, Ian, are going to be looking into that.
All right, David, thank you.
Thank you.
As for Canadian Airlines, David mentioned WestJet. It says it's accelerating inspections of fan blades on 737s, which already had been ordered by the European Safety Authority last year. Sunwing says it's begun an ultrasonic inspection program of 737s, and Air Canada says it doesn't use the type of engines involved in the Southwest incident.